so for those who are watching us, just to let you know that we will be taking questions and comments. So just drop it down on Facebook. We've got Nkosbonile, one of our members, who's going to be popping in and giving us some of the questions. I'll give him a gesture and then he'll come on. And then just to give you a little background about the BBGI Black Business Growth Initiative movement. Who's it for? What is Black Business Growth Initiative? It's a community of like-minded people who want to increase and enhance the growth within the community. So that it's about unity, it's about collaboration, it's about excellence, it's about growth personally, financially, in every aspect of our life to reach our fullest potential. And that is what we really strive for and really want to see. And who are the members? Who's it for? It's for all Blacks, all Africans, not against race or creed or religion. Doesn't matter where you're from, what religion you are, we are welcome everyone. And it's for business owners, professions, people who are working, and for students, beginners, you know, people who are doing masters, people who've already gone through the studying and going back to study. So it's literally for everyone. We're all here to grow and help one another to excel and reach our fullest potential. Yeah, all right. And then just to give you a little bit more insight of it, what we want in the long term is thriving businesses, thriving careers, growing businesses, careers being promoted, people being promoted in their workspaces. And then we want to see new attendees, new people coming in. And we want those new people who are coming in to also stay and for them to witness this and, you know, and kind of keep that community and building it, continuously building it. And now if you can imagine, if we have about 20 Black business owners in one space, and you know they're supporting one another, supporting each other's products, you know, so which is such a great thing. I'm going to give a little testimony about myself. I've been attending these events for about a year, and I'll tell you something, man. You know, I've grown so much as a person. My network itself is just spreaded, like, you know, from here to here. And I think that is a great thing, you know, networking, because that's when you don't know when you're going to get your next client from. You know, as a business person, we're always hustling. So for me, every end of the month, I look forward going to these events because I just broaden and meet new people. And also it's a place where I feel as a community I'm held accountable, because we talk about Black excellence, but what is Black excellence? And we talk about these issues, the issues that we might face within our community, and how do we help each other grow. So it's a really, really great space. So if you are here for the first time, we'll welcome you. Please do come back for more events. Do not run away or feel shy. There's a community here to support you as well. And then today's event, we are going to be discussing success, strategy, and adapting to COVID-19. We all know the world is talking about it. We're all going through it. The entire world, we're all going through COVID-19. And today we're going to have these three panelists here, and they're going to let us know what is success through COVID-19. How is it that they're still maintaining their businesses? What are the challenges that they face? But first, I'm going to talk to Asana. Asana, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you ready? You can unmute yourself. Are you ready?
Yep.
So, you know, with how has COVID-19 and lockdown affected you personally?
So, I mean, in as much as I said that I'm an introvert in my little introduction there at the beginning, all of us as people, we do need that some degree of interaction with society. So I think that's been one of the most difficult things for me, to find myself at the extreme, you know? I mean, yeah. Life is about balance. So there's a different, for instance, for me, it's not about being in crowded spaces, but also it's not about being in total isolation. So I found that with lockdown, it's had to be about that isolation, that social distance. And it's been quite a difficult thing to navigate. I mean, we've got technology, we've got Zoom calls, we've got WhatsApp calls, WhatsApp videos, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram. we've got so many mediums that we can use to interact with people and engage with them, but there is something that we call a human factor. And I found that that's what's been missing for me. And in as much as I see people's faces over screens, we cannot deny the fact that we are not in the same place, and that there's power and there's something significant about interacting in physical proximity, in our physical presence. So that's what's been difficult. I don't know if you want me to share business aspects or if we'll go into that later.
Not yet, we're gonna get there. Okay. Thank you so much about that insight, because look, a lot of us are struggling. I mean, some of us, we like to engage in going to spaces and meet friends, etc. Now we're told that we have to stay away from our friends, and it's like, what do you mean? And it's, we miss the looking in the eyes, just the small things, looking at each other's eyes, just the physical touch as well, and just hugging someone. We miss that comfort. I'm gonna just move on to Tando quickly. Tando, for you, when you first heard lockdown, what were your thoughts, like your initial thoughts? What was it like for you? What was going through your mind? You can just unmute yourself there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, Lunti. Firstly, man, it was the first time experience, I guess, to everyone in the world. So when we talk about lockdown, to be honest with you, I thought it's something that's going to happen for short period of time, probably for a month, and then after that we'll be over to our normal lives. So when the lockdown, I had a lot of different reactions. So when I heard about it, firstly, I heard about, my routine. My routine is very important. So I was like, I have to change my routine now. I'm not going to do the usual stuff that I normally do. And then at the same time, there was that back of the mind, there was a fear, because obviously you think about the health, you think about the one who loves you, think about the people who are not close to you. On my side, I was like, okay, I can go according to the rules and regulations of the lockdown, but other people that I love or other people that are close to me might be negligent or might get the virus, or the virus is not about being negligent. I was thinking about the people who are close to me and my family as well. So when lockdown on the business side,
wait, we're gonna get there. Hold it there. We're gonna get on the business side. We're gonna get there. Hold it. Wapa.
So when I heard about the lockdown, I had a mixed reaction. I had a mixed feelings. I didn't know exactly what to do. The first thing was think about the safety and my routine. Because my routine is one of my priority. I survive with my routine. So I had feelings where uneven. I didn't know exactly what to expect. It was a first time experience.
And you know what? I think you're not the only one who felt this way. I think a lot of us felt that way, because we're going into the unknown. And when you go into the unknown, it's like you don't know what to expect. And you're pushed out your comfort zone. And you feel uncomfortable to be out of your comfort zone. And immediately, some of us will start to panic, like, what now? What's going to happen? How am I going to do? We go into panic mode, which is anxiousness, anxiety. We're going to talk about that more anyway. Thank you for that, Butan. Honorable, when you heard about lockdown, what were your feelings? What did you feel like as well? What were your thoughts? What was going through you?
Well, I panicked for the first week, and I didn't know like exactly what to do. Okay, no, I panicked for the first week, but then I was like, I mustn't show people on the outside, like my mom and my daughter, So I acted like I'm strong, I know what's happening, but inside I was really panicking. And I think the second week, I just, spoke to people who made me relax and calm down, and then I knew what I had to do. So it was the same as Sutan Kolo said. I also had to like figure out a new routine for myself, and just not panic. Like there was nothing I could do actually. Like if I was panicking, it meant that I'm not going to be able to make the right choices. So immediately I had to be like, we're in this, let's do it. Yeah.
Wow, man, I feel you. I think we were all kind of in the same boat. Thank you for that, Honorable. Sister Sona, I'm going to come back to you, and I want you to tell us more on the the effect of the business side. In fact, talk about your business first, because I realized that we haven't really spoken in depth about your businesses. What is it that you do? Just give us a minute or two about that, about your business. I'm not be shy.
Okay, so I am a registered clinical psychologist. I am in private practice. I run a private practice in Milnerton, in what I would call like a it's basically a medical practice, because I share the practice with the dentist and the physio. So I'm a psychologist at the practice. It's in Milnerton. I offer psychological services primarily to adults. I've recently started working with couples as well. I do sometimes open my doors to seeing adolescents, which are children above 14. Other than that, I am also involved in some academic work. So I am an educator for one of the colleges here in Cape Town. I educate some psychology modules, and then I also educate modules related to diversity in the South African context. On top of that, I sometimes feel like I'm everywhere, but on top of that, I'm also a researcher for another academic institution, where I'm involved in quite a large-scale research project that's based on HIV positive women who have histories of sexual trauma, who are embarking on starting ARV treatment, and how their histories of sexual trauma could influence their adherence to their treatment. I am also, like, it just feels like a lot.
Wow, hey, show off, come on, flourish, girl, you're allowed.
So just two more things. So I'm also a volunteering psychologist for an organization called the Triangle Project, which I really feel I need to mention today, because it's Pride Month, it's June. So the Triangle Project is an organization based in Cape Town to support the members of the LGBTQIAP, etc. community. So I have just recently joined as one of their counselors to offer any kind of psychological support and emergency services to their community and to the clients that they work with. And then lastly, I'm also part of another NPO. I'm yet to start. I've just started engaging with them. I also work with another NGO that conducts intellectual assessments for people who are suspected to have some kind of intellectual disabilities. And this is done in the context of proving to the court that this person is intellectually disabled and therefore could not consent to any sexual acts, because we're dealing with victims of sexual assault who are intellectually impaired. So I help with that kind of work as well. So in essence, I am a person who is a helper, and I have my claws everywhere trying to help in different academic and wellness.
Wow, you seem like very busy. I don't know how you can manage to juggle all of that as one person. It seems like there's 10 of you.
No, but fortunately, everything is compartmentalized. So you find that one role has 8 hours a week, one role has 12 hours a week, one role has 6 hours, one has 2 hours. So I've had to learn to put everything in a box and a compartment so that I don't feel overwhelmed.
Wow, great. So when lockdown started, how did this kind of affect your business, like, and all your work and the clients that was it more work? What happened for you?
Okay, so it was actually quite a strange situation, because I mean, like I said, I'm a psychologist, so a lot of the work we do involves interacting with people on a face-to-face basis, right? And with lockdown and restrictions, I mean, that became quite difficult. So mental health services are regarded as essential services. So I have been working since the onset of lockdown. I have been seeing patients face-to-face, especially in clinic and hospital settings. So all my inpatients I would see face-to-face. But then the challenge came with my outpatients, who I didn't know who they've been interacting with. So were they safe enough to interact with face-to-face? Because they put in a lot of regulations for inpatients. Inpatients weren't allowed visitors, they were screened daily, so they felt like a safer population. So I had to get out of my comfort zone and start using technology. So I've been conducting a lot of sessions over Zoom, a lot of sessions over Skype. I've had to use WhatsApp videos, and I've also I discovered Google Meets and Google Hangouts. A few sessions have been telephonic as well. So that's one of the things that it's one of the parts that lockdown has led me on. So I've had to familiarize myself a lot with technology. But now that the restrictions have been eased a bit and people are moving around more, I've opened up my practice again for face-to-face. But of course, one of the challenges then has been conducting therapy wearing a mask, and your patient is wearing a mask. And the difficulties around that in terms of facial expression, nonverbal communication, etc. But I mean, we're all adapting.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that is very challenging, because especially that whole eye contact and facial expression, you know, because you can kind of read someone's energy as well and mood, and that I think you have a better understanding of where they are as well, just by reading that. Wow. Okay. Wow. Thank you. I'm gonna come back to you about that. I just want to go back to our other panelists. Tando, brother. Thank you, Sister Sona. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, what was the challenges, man, for you and your business? Like when COVID-19 started, lockdown started, you know, actually tell us a bit more about your business before you go on to do that.
Okay, great, man. Firstly, I'm the owner of Sima's Cottage. Sima's Cottage specializes with traditional South African foods. Like tripe, steamed bread, pork trotters, smiley. There's a lot on the menu. As long as South African cuisine, then we can do it for you on special orders. So we're doing deliveries around Parklands area to round it off, Western Seaboard area, Table View, Melatin, including Pegani Estate.
Yeah, nice.
Our challenge in Sima's Cottage when there was this lockdown, obviously there won't be any business. We don't have to do anything. That's the first challenge. Stop. There's no money getting in, and our people, they can't access the food they love. So we have to stop everything. So now, Sima's Cottage, firstly, the advantage about Sima is been operating according to rules and regulations of lockdown before a lockdown, because how we operate, people order telephonically via WhatsApp, all social media, Facebook and Insta. Then we do deliveries, and then we cater for minimum number of people aligning with the rules and regulations of COVID before everything started. So we've been operating like that. So now it gives us an advantage when there are these rules and regulations. We don't have to adjust a lot according to our business strategy, because this is how we've been operating. The only difference we do is just to go with the precautionary measures, the mask, and the PPE thing. Otherwise, we operate still the same. So we do events for minimum and number of people. So we've been doing like as rules and regulations of COVID-19. So the business, firstly, all the business, they've got an idea, they've got the mission of growing up, obviously, to get more profit, with profit-oriented business. So the growth of business was affected a lot by this lockdown, firstly, because the business boom and people were getting to know the business through social media. We've got all platforms, Facebook, Insta, and then word of mouth, which is very powerful. And then the most important thing, once the taste is in the pudding all the time, if your food is good, whoever who tasted your food will pass the word. So we survive with the word of mouth. So
I've tasted your food. Tasted your food, and it's top notch. So just to stop you there quickly, Butan, just to ask you, so for you, immediately as lockdown happened and, COVID-19, already did you start adapting, saying, hey, I need to think of a strategy. How do I move forward? How do we act now? How do we respond now?
No, not immediately, man, because as I said earlier, no one knew about this thing. No one knew about these levels of lockdown. Everyone thought it's just going to be locked for 1 month. Then obviously we were getting informed as day goes by. So we immediately, the reaction at that time, we were just shocked. We were just saying, we can't plan anything about business because we need to know what's the way forward, because you don't know if it's going to be the end of the world or anything. So First thing what happened when there was a lockdown, it was the safety of the family and me. Firstly, that's very important. As much as we focus on business, but the safety of the family was very important at that time. So and how it opened.
Sorry, so for you it was okay. Lockdown is happening. Business put aside. Let's take care of the family first. This is the priority right now.
Yes, that was a priority until further notice. Obviously, the business is the back of the mind, but until further notice, then once we get updated about how it's going to happen, then obviously we can start to plan about the future of the business and how we're going to adjust.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing. We're going to go more into details about the reaction and how you responded with that. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for sharing with time. Thank you. Who's next? Lonwabo. Sisters, take us away.
Okay.
For you, you know, COVID-19 happens, you know, lockdown happens. Now, what happens to your business? What are the effects of that for you?
Oh, my business came to a standstill because I was selling earrings mostly, you know, to make an income. And I was selling things that I had to make, well, artwork and earrings. So all the shops were closed. I couldn't make earrings. I also had to meet new clients. Like I had a meeting at the library. I had a meeting at the bank, at FNB. I had a meeting at the chemist because people invited me to say, come and show us your earrings. We're interested. We've seen them around. And I was so excited because I thought, okay, 100 new customers I'm getting. And, you know, I'm going to be known, you know, in King Williamstown as that lady who sells earrings. And yeah, I'm going to increase, you know, my customers. And then next thing is lockdown. I can't go anywhere. I've got a lot of earrings, but I can't communicate with anyone, and I couldn't post earrings anymore. So yeah, my business was at like a standstill for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I was like, okay, let me just buy what I need, you know, to be able to stay inside and safe with my family. And while I was actually doing the shopping, and I was thinking, oh my God, you know, this cash I could have used to buy more beads. I could have used to buy more canvas and everything. But I also was saying to myself that, well, something is going to work out. You know, it always does. And something is going to come at the end of this. So I did my shopping, and I strategized on actually just being more positive. That I've been through a lot as well in my life, and I thought this can't be the end, you know, of it. It means we're going to the next level of life, and we're gonna we're like in a movie. There's like we almost like in a movie that I've watched before.
It's interesting you say that. Sorry to cut you there. So it's interesting you say that. For you, it was like, you know what, this is not the end of the world. Something is going to come out of this. And I always say that, you know, in life, you know, where there's a crisis, there's an opportunity to connect. There's an opportunity for new ideas to be born. There's an opportunity for something else new to happen. And it will take us to digging deep, to really sit down and to think and say, what now? You know, yes, we're facing the crisis. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, so that also like hit me after a while, and I got so excited. I was telling people like, oh, this is so exciting because I've been bored of this normal life. Like we know what's going to happen. Everyone has plans. So I really got excited with that. But the first thing that I decided to do was to actually start having a business.
Hold it there. Don't tell us yet. We're gonna get your reaction. Get your reaction. Not yet. Don't tell us yet. All right, cool. I'm just gonna check in with Bonilo if he has any questions for us or comments from the people. So guys, please do share as well on your comments. Write down in the comment book on the Facebook to how did you adapt? How did you feel? Because as you can see, we're all kind of in the same boat at first. We all didn't know what to do. We all fearful, anxiety. There's so many things. Businesses shut down. I mean, I had to shut down my business and say, okay, and I had to email most of my clients and say, guys, business is not happening for now. There's no business happening from my side. And I also had that same reaction, of having a client, having a meeting. I was excited, a big client. I'm going to go and pitch them at the beginning of April. I'm going to fly to Joburg. It's going to happen. And then they say lockdown. I was like, it's almost like I saw my life flashing, like literally like, oh my gosh. I was about to have a big client, another one. Like, it was really kind of hard to kind of just accept that. It took me a while to accept that, okay, I'm actually going on lockdown. So please do comment. Please share your questions as well if you have anything. Gosbonila, are you around? Let's see if he's around. Let's see if he's around and if he's getting any questions.
Yes, I am.
Do it.
Yes, we do have a question. There's a question from Tuleka Joy who says, good evening, Lonwabo. So this question is directed to Lonwabo. And Tuleka wants to know, Lonwabo, have you as a freelancer actually strategized and met online to discuss how you are going to inform institutions that will enable the arts culture industry to benefit from the government relief, such as the COVID-19 relief? My heart is with the freelancers during this time, as much it is hard to people in corporate lose jobs. So I guess what Tuleka is trying to say is, you guys as freelancers in the arts, have you met together to basically strategize and see a way forward from this?
Okay, thank you, Tuleka, for that question. Yeah, I think at the beginning of COVID-19 lockdown, we were inundated, is that the right word, with lots of relief funds and links to get relief and funding as artists, in general. And there were lots of WhatsApp groups that had opened, and there were lots of WhatsApp groups that I had left myself, because as freelancers, we mostly didn't qualify. Yeah, so like you go to a link and then you find out, oh, you needed to have earned this much annually, you needed to have A, B, and C, and then you get off the link. I mean, I think I also bought a lot of data trying to follow all the leads till I exhausted myself, and I said, okay, let me just, wait up until the right thing comes to me, instead of following, like 20 links a day, because there were so many links coming in. I was in a group, an East London group. I'm in a Pagamisa group. I'm in a Cedar group somewhere. So there's lots of help, I think, as artists. And I'm also in the 4-room house gang group, which is Dimbaza, the township side. And everyone is just sharing links on how to get funds. And then you find out, like, Basa also had a link, and then they said they're out of funds. They were giving freelancers 10,000, and then eventually they're out of funds. So now I didn't get to apply any of those links. I went through and I realized that I'm just going to be spending so much time applying and hoping to get in, and I would need to certify my ID. I'd need to have everything in place, meaning I'd need to go outside and try to get these things done. God, it's not a safe environment. So yeah, like I had to, I had to trust other things, I had to trust people that I know, like my clients and my network that's closer to me, to help me out of the frustration of not getting an income.
Sure. Wow. Yeah, man. I think a lot of us artists felt that way. A lot of us, there was promises from so and so that artists, must apply for this, and they make this form so complicated for a lot of artists. And then it's like, and then some of them had to have businesses, and some artists didn't have businesses, so it was very complicated. So I feel you. Yeah, man. Thanks for it. Thanks for sharing. Sis Asona, I'm just gonna come back to you. So now, we've kind of, how, the reaction of kind of responding to COVID-19 to say to yourself, you know what, I see the situation. This is how I'm feeling. This is what's happening. How do I get back up? And then, of course, you start to adapt to in terms of the work side of it and trying to figure out new ways, like you were saying, Zoom meetings. But yourself, mentally, like your thoughts, like how are you keeping yourself sane?
Okay. I think it's something that a lot of us have had to do. It's actually quite interesting, Lund, what you're asking. I mean, I hope I'm not going to take the scenic route in answering you, but when lockdown started, 8-9 weeks ago, there was so much energy amongst people. People were establishing routines, people were exercising, and people were starting healthy eating plans and had lockdown body goals. People were honing in on their culinary skills, etc. So what I'm trying to say is that it's all about coping strategies, right? To maintain some degree of feeling grounded, some degree of feeling, if I could put it, horrible word to use, but sane. It's all about coping strategies. But one thing that I've realized during this lockdown is that sometimes we use coping strategies initially and they seem to work, they seem helpful, they seem to work, and then as time goes by, they get so stretched and they stop working. I mean, I found, like on my timeline, for instance, the people who used to post, I laugh about it with them, the people who used to post exercise videos, boom, now they're gone. The culinary skills in the kitchen, that's absent as well. So a lot of the coping strategies that people put in place, the routines they put in place, just somehow crumbled. But what does that mean? That means that sometimes as human beings, we just need to learn to sit with uncertainty. We have this urge or this desire as people to have everything go by the book, to have everything be predictable. Hence, we want routines. Routines are great. Routines keep us centered. Routines keep us structured. But sometimes life is just uncertain. And I mean, we're hearing the phrase being thrown around. This is an unprecedented time, such a difficult time, such a trying time. The reality is, it's unprecedented, it's unexpected. Who would have thought, like I never thought that in my life here on earth, I'd be part of a pandemic and I have this story to tell to my grandchildren, It's unexpected, guys. It's no one planned it. Yes, there are some conspiracy theories that it was planned, but none of us planned it, So it's all about sitting and with the uncertainty and sometimes just sitting with it and accepting that right now, and I don't know what's going on. I am anxious. I accept my anxiety. I don't know what's going to happen with my business. I've explored all options. I'm done jogging. I'm done making an eggs Benedict at home with hollandaise sauce or whatever creations you've discovered, and just sit with the anxiety and uncertainty and accept that certain things are beyond your control. That's what I've learned for myself. Yeah. Did I answer you? Unmute yourself.
I just realized I'm on mute. No, you answered me. And I would like to ask you as well, Butanda, that same kind of question. What is it that you do or did or still doing to keep yourself sane, to keep yourself going, because it's important.
Yes, Luntu. Well, firstly, man, as human beings, we function with three things: mind, body, and soul. So just before the lockdown, I was starting to transform my body just to go and run late after work and in the morning. So boom, lockdown. So all stops. So now I have to adjust quickly, which is because, the functionality of mind, body, and soul has to move on. Because lockdown as well, like there were no other thing we could do. We just stay around the yard. So I was keeping myself with light exercise, doing a lot of research about piracy, doing a lot of research about this COVID, what's going on, what exactly going on. As I'm a historian, to check all the other angles, people were talking different stuff. So I was checking all the angles. Where is this coming from? What's the purpose of this? My curiosity was about this virus, so powerful, can stop the whole world. And at the same time, the body, if you don't exercise, you know, the mind won't function well. Myself, I'm like that. So I was keeping myself with a bit of exercise, a lot of research. At the same time, I won't lie to you, it was, for the first week, it was kind of a holiday or leave. Obviously, I must enjoy myself at the same time. There must be a little bit of entertainment for me with the family. And now, remember, as a family, we don't usually stay like this all the time. So it was enough time to want to know each other, because you might think you know someone, but as much you grow up, you differ in the way of thinking. So it's high time now to be in a one space, and then you can't run, you can't do, even if you're angry, you can't go out of the house, you have to stick in the house, all those things. So to me, the challenge of lockdown was just a different platform. At the same time, on the positive side, my mind was working. Obviously, this thing is going to go over, because I'm always positive and I know I'm going to go through this thing. What are we going to do after the lockdown? Business-wise, how is it going to work? So I was doing a lot of research of what the business can move further. Then I realized, you know what, Sima's Cottage has been specializing with traditional South African food.
Aha, we're gonna come there. We're gonna come there next. We're gonna come there. Hold it there. Hold it right there. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, yeah, man. You know, I don't have a wife and kids, but I know the feeling of just getting to know, you know, the people that you're staying with, like my housemates. The importance, you know, you find new bonds amongst each other, and you know, it's a great thing. Yeah. And Lonwabo, thanks, Butanda. Thank you so much. Sure. I'll move on to you. We're gonna start moving swiftly now. Lonwabo, tell us about your reaction and response. Can you hear me? Lonwabo, can you hear me? She's frozen. Okay, I think she's frozen. Okay, you know what, Asana, what you can do now on the business aspects of it, you know, how did you respond, like with your business? How did you, you know, get things going again?
So I think one of the difficult aspects of the work I do is the money part. So I've spoken about the actual physical interaction, you know, face to face, Zoom, you know. But one thing that I found people were struggling with was the money aspect. So because I'm a health professional, I'm affiliated with medical aids. I bill directly to medical aid. But now what's happening? People have lost their jobs. People have had pay cuts. Some have had to let go of medical aid. Some didn't have medical aid anyway, but are now unemployed. So there's no access to resources. And one of the adjustments that I found myself having to make was to really tap into to the philanthropist in me and start